Next up, the Beef Quality Assurance Program, or BQA, is a voluntary producer program which is also nationally coordinated and state implemented. It provides systematic information in order to maximize consumer confidence in the beef industry by focusing attention on production practices that influence the safety and quality of beef and beef products. Nebraska Extension educator Jesse Fulton is the director of Nebraska BQA, and he spoke with Market Journal's Bill Dodd about the benefits of becoming BQA certified.
Back in the 1970s and 80s, a number of cattlemen had some concern about government regulation within their operation and throughout the industry. What was born out of their work with the USDA was the Pre-Harvest Safety Production Program, which laid the foundation for today's Beef Quality Assurance Program. Since its inception, the BQA program has done a lot of good for our country's beef industry.
And this concern was coming because of the amount of violative residues that we were seeing in beef packing plants. So, that's the first thing that the BQA program has done for the beef industry is we have greatly reduced those violative residues. The last time we did a research project looking at the amount of violative residues or injection site lesions in beef product was in 2003, and that percentage had dropped to less than 3%. Today, we really don't see a lot of those just because the BQA program has really worked to help producers focus on keeping good records to make sure they don't market any cattle that haven't cleared their withdrawal periods. Another thing that the BQA program has done is made great strides in animal welfare and animal handling or cattle handling. From facility design and how those employees or cattle owners are trained and how they handle their cattle, and using the principles that cattle, their natural instincts of how they flow in facilities when working them.
One of the most beneficial aspects of the BQA program is the fact that it can be a profitable endeavor for those producers who choose to become certified and follow BQA guidelines.
So the BQA program has financially benefited producers for a while. There's some programs in other states that actually require the BQA program to participate in programs where there is a premium added to those feeder cattle or fed cattle when they're sold. The National Beef Checkoff did a research project back in 2019 where they were investigating the value BQA added to cattle that were sold in virtual auction or so, like online auction. And what it was anytime BQA was mentioned or those cattle was mentioned those cattle were raised under BQA guidelines, those animals brought an additional $2.71 per hundredweight or $16.80 per head. So there is value in BQA. For our producers, it's great for producers to be able to capture that value as well when they are BQA certified.
Another reason BQA certification is so beneficial to cattle producers is the fact that it builds strong consumer confidence in the quality of beef products that are hitting supermarket shelves by highlighting the care and attention that goes into raising beef cattle.
It's very important because, our product going out to the consumers do have an opinion on what they purchase at the grocery store. We have consumer market research out there that shows us that, especially when it relates to the beef industry. So in 2017, the National Beef Checkoff did a consumer market research when they were asking consumers, unaided, just what concerns they have about the beef industry. 61% of those consumers mentioned a concern, and more than half of those consumers mentioned animal welfare was their concern when it comes to purchasing beef from the grocery store. Now in 2019, we followed up with a different consumer market research project. And in that project, we asked them what impacted their purchasing decisions of beef at the grocery store. 68% of those consumers said how those animals were raised and cared for on the operation. So that just shows us right there how important animal welfare is to consumers. So we need to make sure that we are going as far as we can to ensuring proper animal welfare and the care of those animals that are going to become a consumer protein product so that they'll continue to purchase our product from the grocery stores.
When it comes to getting BQA certified, there are online or in-person options available. While both are excellent training programs, Jesse feels the in-person option is the way to go.
The one we highly recommend is getting certified in person. When you come to a BQA certification training, it's a PowerPoint presentation that we're going to go through the guidelines of BQA, things that you should be implementing on your operation to follow those BQA guidelines. It's pretty easy. We get through it in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, where we just cover a lot of those guidelines. Now, if the opportunity presents itself to where we can go chute side, we'll definitely do a chute side demonstration, just showing proper cattle handling practices and then proper animal health product handling practices, as well as proper injection site administration. Now, we know our producers are busy and they don't always have time to get away from their operation to come to a BQA training. So that's why there is an online option for those producers. They can go to bqa.org, and it's a free online certification that they can do at their own pace, and it's available 24/7 for them.
All in all, it doesn't matter how superior of a product we're producing if consumers don't purchase it. As it stands today, over 80% of the beef industry is maintained under BQA guidelines, giving consumers more confidence in the products they buy and a better market price for beef producers. Reporting for Market Journal, I'm Bill Dodd.